How would you recommend a theater bring a deaf show to their community? Hi, I'm Caden, I'm your musical dealer, and I'm a licensed American Sign Language interpreter, and I work in deaf theater a lot. But since I'm not really qualified to answer this question, I want to introduce you to my boyfriend, whom you may recognize as the deaf Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hi, I'm Josh. I am a deaf actor, and I use hearing aids, and I speak sometimes and sign sometimes. So for this one, I think I'm going to SimCom. I don't recommend it, but it's how I communicate. So the question was, how would we start this process? It's really interesting because we, as a deaf community, haven't really been invited into the space. So there's a lot of us who are fighting and learn how to get ourselves into the room. And so there's some of us who are interested but never thought we could. So that's the work. It's the most of us who are interested but never thought we could are probably in your area. So whoever is leading the project needs to try and make a connection with the community. And that's hard because you have to earn our trust back. How do you build trust? You free people from concern. What concerns us as a deaf community? Will I understand what's going on in the room? Will I be appreciated and not tokenized? Will the narrative I'm being a part of support my rights, support what I need? Will the people in the room I'm working with, will they understand what I go through? Do they understand what I need? And lastly is, will my audiences, will my friends understand the show? So by addressing all of these, you can make sure that people feel safe and want to be a part of your company moving forward. What does understanding what I go through matter? Why does that matter? What does that have to do with the process? Well, oftentimes we have to explain ourselves, explain our experience, explain how we experience the world. And I notice oftentimes theater companies who do the research of figuring out what deaf culture means. What is the deaf experience? And when you as a company understand that, it makes deaf artists feel like, oh, I can actually just work and create with you, not educate and train everyone on what it means to be deaf. And oftentimes remarks are made when people don't do their research that rub us the wrong way or put things in a weird light that put us in a position of having to like, hey, actually, no. And it's not a fun position to be in. So let's do both sides a favor, research about deaf culture, and make us feel safe so you don't look stupid. And I know you're thinking, this is a lot of work for something that I feel like was just a simple idea. Yes, but it's a long-term impact on the community because once you include deaf people, they're like, oh, we're accepted, we're safe, we're fine, we're not being exploited. We're not being exploited. So we can go work and play in that space with these people. So the first thing I think is going to deaf events and meeting them and telling them that you're interested in doing a deaf involved project, connecting with the community members, and the next step is fundraising. It's not easy. Interpreters cost money, so trying to find a good way to balance your budget to include interpreters or student interpreters from a local university. A lot of us deaf people don't really enjoy working with student interpreters. I love you, student interpreters, because oftentimes we're teaching and it impacts our access. But we do understand that budgets are hard and student interpreters need practicum hours. So we often try to build a mentorship program with a local university so they can send someone who will watch and support the interpreters as they continue to do practicum hours interpreting for the deaf actor. It's a long process, but also fundraising a year in advance, 2 years in advance gives you enough time to earn money to pay for interpreters or captioning or whatever. I also talk about having deaf representation behind the table, not just in front of the table, because when you're deaf, you have a different way of looking at the world, you have a different experience, you have different things that trigger us, different values, different language uses. And so having someone behind the table can help the creative team to make creative decisions, things that will impact the story to become more compelling or unique because of the deaf perspective. So at the end of the day, the more deaf people you have involved, the better. It's building trust that they are safe in the room you're creating. It's building trust with the community to make sure that they know that they are welcome and that you're not going to just tokenize and exploit us. So that's a long answer, but I hope that answers your question. If you're interested, reach out to your local deaf agencies, interpreting agencies, schools. It's really important that you build a relationship with these people and try to find ways to get them interested in stories that excite them. So good luck.